Is that a belief system that we all adhere to? It really, the inside of the cup matters more than the outside of the cup. Do we actually believe that? We want to believe that. It's a nice belief. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ashestorubies conversational podcast where we talk about life in recovery.
Should we talk about the little spat that we just had?
A little spat that we just had. Yeah, you pay the price when you don't do prayer and meditation before a video. We're still a work in progress, and that's okay. Yeah, we were having adult conversations about internet. That's about it, and who takes care of what. And yeah.
I don't want to be responsible.
And we're not going to finish the conversation now. Just like we had talked about. So who does take responsibility for the bills? And then and that's fair, but then who does the maintenance of the relationship? Like, it's one thing to pay the bills, but then we're only getting half the service that we pay for. Who's in charge of that part?
But you don't even know the full story of what is actually happening inside of me when you bring up the internet bill and the fact that we're getting ripped off.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
No, you don't.
No, I totally understand. Bell,
I have such a long history with Bell.
It's horrible that they can put you on hold for 8 hours. They've stopped doing that now. You have little chat buttons. You have personal people that it's still horrible. I understand, but now there's a lot of competition. So hey, look out, suckers. What I wanted to ask you. You're making me sweat.
Instead of why aren't we getting the upload speed that we should be getting? What was the real question?
Well, we're having video problems, so I'm trying to figure out why. The real question that I want to ask you is, when you go away from your home for an overnight or longer, what do you miss the most?
Jordan, my son.
I swear that's a lie, but we'll go with that because it sounds motherly, it sounds nurturing, it sounds tender.
The last person I said that to said, your son is an adult.
He probably would say that too if he was watching. I would say it's your dog Buddy, but mine would be my bed.
I got to admit.
Or your coffee machine.
I like going away because I like having no dog in my bed.
How about that?
But I don't, but I do, but I don't. I do miss the coffee machine.
I rolled over and I saw the site that I've been seeing lots where you're facing that way and Buddy is facing the other way. And you were back to back spooned and you're both snoring. And I'm like, God is teaching this woman love and affection and cuddling because you're not a cuddler. You're not a toucher. Don't touch me. I get to cuddle for probably 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And no offense, it's just the way it is. And Buddy, I think, is teaching you some new lessons and covering some new ground that I could not do. Yeah, so I'm excited for Buddy. And dogs should not sleep in your bed. I'm just going to say that right now. The dog wasn't ever supposed to be in our bed. He was very sick for a year. He almost died 4 times and just didn't. We're horrible parents for dogs. Let's just say that.
Our other dog doesn't sleep in our bed.
The other dog sleeps in a crate, which the other dog should be sleeping in a crate, but it didn't work out that way. When it comes to children, there's no favorites.
What do you miss?
But when there comes to dogs, I believe that there can be.
I just need to tell you something.
What do I miss?
I need to tell you something. There are favorites when it comes to children.
You have favorites?
People are lying when they say they don't have favorites.
I believe that too, but I think
they don't want to have favorites. They love them all equally, but that doesn't mean there's no favorites.
Oh, so love and favoritism is different. I think that's true because you were a favorite. You've always been a favorite wherever you've gone in any family that you've deemed necessary to bless.
Including yours.
Including mine.
I think I was the favorite.
Yeah, but that's not hard. You're present and don't smell like alcohol and you just didn't go away and we all did. But your grandfather and you can tell Christmas who's the favorite. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of unfair things.
Where were we going with this? Why are we talking about this? I feel uncomfortable.
Because you're the favorite.
I have a lot of rebuttal about that, but.
What do I miss most? I would say I would miss my bed. Yeah, that's what I would miss. I like my bed.
I like how you admitted this morning that when you're home, you like to be home, but when you're away, you like to be away. It is very challenging.
I don't even know what that means
to get you to go away.
I don't even know what that means.
It's very challenging to get you to go away.
Why do you keep it on like volume?
I don't know. Sorry.
No, I think it's better to keep your phone on volume than vibrate.
All right. What are we doing here? Because we are 5 minutes in and
we're going to read a morning devotional. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 5 minutes. And I am going to read a morning devotional where a meditation, if you want to call it, where we get a concept, an idea, and bring that throughout the day and let God speak to us. Let it percolate. And I hope this means something to all of us. So, all right, this is called The Good, the Bad. Good and the bad. There's no ugly to this.
Is this us resetting our morning? It's not like we had a fight. Don't get us wrong. It's not like we had a fight. It was just a little.
There's some tension.
There's some tension.
The internet.
Does this reset our morning? How do we reset?
I think we're resetting it right now.
We're resetting right now?
Yeah, on camera, on live. So that's cool.
All right.
One of the first movies that I can remember watching, because I grew up in Asia, in Indonesia, and it's like the home of electronics, but we didn't have anything, barely had a TV, and I think we had one channel of and very limited English.
Feel sorry for you
and
right
so
now.
My dad would rent a VCR or a beta, I think at the time, and he would rent one from the video store where they just copy every video in the world. And I remember watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Is that the title of our reading?
No, it's just The Good and the Bad.
Okay.
There is no ugly. All right, my Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me good and bad. Wow, we were just talking about this yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yep, last night's meeting.
I'm a little passionate about this. All right, the joy of life is in the giving. Being freed from my shortcomings, that I may be more freely be of service, allows humility to grow in me. My shortcomings can be humbly placed in God's loving care and be removed. The essence of step 7 is humility, and what better way to seek humility than by giving all of myself, good and bad, to God, so that He may remove the bad and return me to the good. Amen. Couple things in there that people.
I could go first this time.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
That's so unusual.
Gets me in trouble. The internet.
So humility and insecurity are not the same thing. That's one thing that I've learned.
Humility and insecurity, or security?
Insecurity.
Yeah.
Isn't the same thing as humility. Because I think oftentimes, like, people, pride, we don't necessarily realize, I didn't realize that insecurity is also a form of pride.
Insecurity is, yes.
And so I'm not being humble when I'm insecure.
No.
I'm not being humble when I put myself down.
No.
I'm not being humble when I, for myself, I'm being insecure. And that is actually a form of pride, which I never knew.
That's really good. Very good. And then I see shortcomings, and we hear about defects. And so I think that shortcomings are what I'm short of, like short of peace, short of patience, short of kindness, goodness, all of those things, joy. I'm just short of a lot of things. And then defects are what I'm abundant of, insecurity, talking too much, like oversharing,
trying to prove myself,
trying. Oh,
that's funny.
Defensiveness, all of those things.
Hey, I got that one.
And that's yours. You got that one. And then it says the good and the bad. And I think that we can just put ourselves on the altar and let God figure it out, because some of the things that we think are good are actually not good. And some of the things
how would I know?
How would you know?
How would I know?
How would you know? I'm a very kind, loving person, but I did it all out of manipulation. I never understood what love was. And I think I'm the most kind, loving, generous person, but I'm doing it out of a selfish motive. So what I've come to learn is I don't even know what's good in me. Is there anything good in me? Apart from God, there is nothing good in me, but he's going to transform this temple into a good place.
Such a controversial statement.
Such a controversial
But
statement.
I think the key is that I don't have to figure it all out. It's not my job to figure it all out. It's my job to say to God, I'm willing. Like, I'm willing. And so for me, a big moment that I had in the last year was while I was doing the work, and I had just done I had done my inventories, and then I had shared them with another person. And then step 6 says what?
Humbly. Not insecurely.
And so I was listening to a talk, humbly like asked God to remove our shortcomings, and humbly asked God to remove our shortcomings. And then step 7.
Okay, now you're putting me on the spot, and
why can't I think of it right now?
I'm not even thinking right now.
So, but I really became aware of a lot of things when I was doing this process. Like, I really became aware of how defensive I am. I really became aware that I don't really like to follow through on things. I became aware that I want like all the good stuff. I want the joy. I want the healing. I want the fruit. I want, healthy relationships, but I don't entirely ready to have
willing for God to remove the defects. And then in 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings.
So I realized I wanted like the fruit of all that, but I didn't want to go through like actually the hard work of it. I just wanted it to like happen. And so, but then, actually I had a moment where something just like sunk deep inside of me. And I feel like that moment, like it was just this like realization that I had that actually I can be transformed. Like God actually really can transform me. And I think it just, I don't know, it just like sunk really deep inside me and I really believed it.
That's good.
Which gave me confidence and gave me motivation to like continue pressing in.
Well, and here's the thing, because out of our defects, we could be really everybody's best friend and they all confide in us. But the reality is it's all gossip and it's all getting in between people's relationship. And then for me, I was like,
were you just talking about me?
No, for anybody. And for me personally, like I was super brave and courageous. But the reality was I wanted you to see something that I actually wasn't, because I was all fearful of not being accepted. So I walked around with my little chest puffed up, going like, I'm the bravest, courageous guy you've ever seen. I have no fear whatsoever, but I'm just hiding fear. So I don't even, when I get to this point, it's like, just take all the good and the bad and sift through it. And leave me with something, so that I will be a useful tool, a useful light, salt and light in your kingdom. And so the whole point of this is to pass on a message and to be salt and light and hope to others. So that is our meditation. We will not see you tomorrow, but keep the peace, be a good behavior, and be the salt and light that God has called you to be. The good and the bad, give it to him, all of it. Goodbye.